Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Caspian and I read a lot of books, and I'm here today to talk about my May TBR, or my card of wishfuls or hopefuls. That's the word, hopefuls. And of course I have a hot cup of tea. So it's not that hot anymore, but you understand. It's tea. As I said in my last video, you can't talk about books without a cup of tea. Did someone leave? Someone left there. Someone left this. Well, I think I will use it for that book when I read that book, and then I will just let it be there. Maybe it can go with the book. I'm not gonna keep it. So these are my books, and there's a space left in my little box here. So I use a shoebox for my TBR, and also some of my, a few of my bookmarks. That's the word. So there's some space left here, and so these are my hopefuls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hopefuls for May. So May is my birthday month. My birthday is on the 6th of May, and I turn a rather big number, but let's not talk about that. So I have promised myself to mood read and to let myself return any of these that I don't get to in time without feeling like I need to read them before, I want to say they expire, but books don't expire in that way, you know what I mean, before I have to return them. So I have them from this end going that way. These are the two, these two needs to be returned in the beginning of May. And then there's a few here that needs to be returned in the middle of May. And then there's a few here, I think three over here that needs to be returned by the end of May. And I think there's only one I can't extend my loan on. I think it's, yeah, one over here, but that's due at the end of May, so I'm gonna get to that. So these are my books. I give you a sneak peek, and I actually like my hopeful card for this month, because I think most of them are books that I really anticipated reading, and yeah, let's get into it. So I'm gonna go through all of the books starting from here to here, and yeah, I'm just gonna talk about them briefly. So I've actually started this one, and if you wonder what this is my bookmark. I got it from my dad, and then it looks like this. Wait. Enjoy the next chapter. And there's a cute, adorable cat on it. I like this. So the only thing I think it's kind of heavy, and I do prefer like tassels or something like that instead of metal on this end. But it's cute. And I do enjoy, I think bookmarks are like the perfect gift, aren't they? They really are the perfect gift. At least for a book reader or a reader. So the first book is Annibot by Greer. It's a sci-fi. It's about, this book is about Annie and her owner Doug. So Annie is a robot, and Doug got her to be her girlfriend. And in this book we follow their relationship, and he has chosen to make her autodidact, so which means she has her own feelings, and she's developing a personality, and she has wants and needs, and she can say yes or no depending on what she wants, which is good, I think. And he chose her. There are 3 modes on these bots. Nanny mode if you want them to be taking care of your kids. Abigail mode is a house cleaner and yeah, like a maid. And then there is Stella, and Stella is a cuddle bunny, and that's the mode that Annie is in, that Doug shows for her. So he can increase and decrease her libido. He can he teaches her to follow his cues, and I'm not sure how I feel about this so far. I'm a third way in because I started this book yesterday. It's currently the last of April. So I'm intrigued to see where this book is going. It's supposed to be a real good discussion about you know, the relationship between humans and robots, and the pitfalls and all of that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. And it's a short book, so I think I could power through even if it goes in a direction that I'm not really fond of. So we'll see. Annie bought. The next one is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And I've never read an Ali Hazelwood book before. I have been intrigued, but most of the things I hear about her books are things that I'm not drawn to. But I wanted to try her out, and this is the one book that I felt that maybe I could read and enjoy. So we'll see. This is a book, this is a paranormal romance with vampires and werewolves, and so around just shy of 400 pages. So we'll see what I think about that, when and if I get to it. So remember that it's my birthday month, and I might not get to this. These are my hopefuls. And then I have a book that is from my April TBR. I have extended the loan on this one, the Brothers Hawthorne, because I really do want to get to it. I just haven't had the time. If one of the books I read for April hadn't been 700 pages long, then I would have probably gotten to this one. But yeah, so I have extended the loan, and it's now due in the middle of May. So in this is the fourth book. I'm not sure if it's considered the fourth book in the Inheritance games, or if it's just like a spin-off. But in this book we follow one of the brothers, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more from his perspective and a story around him. So we follow Gray, I think. Yeah, Grayson Hawthorne. We're following him in this one. So the next one is A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne. I am the first one reading this book. This is a new, bit banged up, but it's new, and I am the first one reading this adorable edition from my library. Because when I put myself on the waiting list, there was no one, and it was being purchased. So as soon as the library got it, I got it. So I'm thrilled. It's not often you get to be in that position, right? So this is the second book in the Tomes and Tea. The first book was what was the first book? The first book was Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and this is the second book. So we continue to follow Chianti and Reina in this book. So I did enjoy the first book enough to want to read this one, and this has pirates in it, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try that. But I remember feeling like if I had read You Can't Spell Treason Without Tea before I had read Legends and Lattes, I would have maybe enjoyed it more, because they felt kind of similar in how they were built, almost. But I'm looking forward to this one. The next book is, I think, fantasy horror. At least the two other books that I've read from this author have been fantasy horror. And these are retellings. So this is Looking Glass by Christina Henry, and I loved Alice and I also loved Red Queen. So this is the third book, I think, in the Chronicles of Alice. I think these are a collection of novellas in this book, if I understood it correctly. Let's see if I can, yeah, so there's 4 shorter novellas in this book, which is lovely, because that means I can maybe mix it up a bit. I can read one, and then I can change genres for a while, and then I can read another one. So I'm almost certain I'm gonna get to this in May, because I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm also aware that I want to own the whole series, The Chronicles of Alice. So if I don't get to it, I'm not gonna be sad, because I know I'm gonna own it eventually at some point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So from my understanding from Alice and the Red Queen is that there's a horror element and it's a retelling element. So the 4 novellas in this one are, let's see, Lovely Creature, Girl in Amber, When I First Came to Town, and The Mercy Seat. And it says like this: in 4 new novellas, Christina Henry returns to the world of Alice and Red Queen, where magic runs as freely as blood. So I'm not gonna read it back because I don't want to give too much away, but in the first book about Alice, we followed Alice and Hatcher, and they are returning in these short stories or novellas. It says novellas on the back. And then we have another, I would say this is also a paranormal romance. I don't know how much fantasy I actually think it is in this series. So this is The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling, and it's the 3rd book in the Ex Hex series. So the Ex Hex is the 1st book, the 2nd book is The Kiss Curse, and this is the 3rd book, The Wedding Witch. And I have been anticipating this as well. I think I'm like the 3rd person to read this since the library bought it, so it's still in pretty good condition. And it's quite short, so I'm gonna get to it for sure. And I have these are books I have been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to A Pirate's Life for Tea. I've been looking forward to Looking Glass. I've been looking forward to this. And the last book I have on here, let's see if I can just get this to not tip everything over, is Legend. And I was at the library yesterday to return some books and to pick up my holds for How So Many Ways and The Wedding Witch, and then I felt like, oh, I'm returning 4 books, I can borrow a 3rd. So I went to look at the shelves, and this one screamed at me, and I was like, yeah. Because if you don't remember, I read Caraval last month. I read Caraval in April, and I enjoyed it very much. And I have been looking forward to reading Legend at some point, and I think this might be that some point. But if I don't get to it, that's fine. So let's see what I think about this one. So I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's the 2nd book in a series. So I think there's a big difference from month to month, depending on if I read, if I continue on in series, or if I read standalones, how much I talk about them. So I think the only standalones on this cart are the 2 first ones, Annibot and Bride. And Bride I don't know that much about, and I don't want to read the whole back of it now, but I will talk about it when I have read it. So let me know if you've read any of these, and I'm actually happy about the selection of different genres. So let's see, sci-fi, paranormal romance, mystery, fantasy, fantasy horror, paranormal romance, fantasy. So yeah, and I have other books on my own shelves that I might get to as well, because I'm gonna mood read, remember? So if I only get to 4 of these and then read 4 or 5 of my own books, that's fine. And right now, for the past couple of months, my average reading like of number of books has been 8, but out of these books there's only 2 that are around 400 pages, and all the other ones are between 200 and 350. So I also know that my average reading of pages are about 3,000, which is a full cart and then some, or a full like box and then some. So I might get all of these and some other books as well. So yeah, we'll see where we end up. So yeah, that's it from me today. These are my hopefuls for May. And if you have gotten this far and don't have anything to say, you can maybe leave an emoji in the comments that relates to birthdays. A cake, or a cupcake, or a gift, or something like that. Or a heart of your choosing. So yeah, see you in my next video, and happy reading everyone. Xing